Love Disney Star Wars or hate Disney Star Wars, they have just revealed what to expect in the upcoming Project Luminous dropping later this year, and we're going to talk about it right now. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing tonight? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and I want you guys to do me a favor before we begin. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, all that jazz. Good, happy, fun stuff helps out the channel. So tonight, Lucasfilm Disney finally unveiled Project Luminous. We've been waiting for this for so long when they started teasing it last year at Star Wars Celebration. I did a video yesterday speculating what it could be about. I was wrong. I can fully admit I was wrong. It is definitely all about the High Republic. What we heard rumored from Jason Ward last month about the upcoming movie in 2022, but apparently that's not the case according to the official release. So over here on StarWars.com, it says Lucasfilm to launch Star Wars The High Republic publishing campaign in 2020. New stories will explore the Star Wars galaxy set 200 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. Now, Jason Ward had originally heard that it was around 400 years, which would put Yoda at about 400, 500 years old. This puts him squarely in the 650 range, and it's like, okay, sure, all right, fine, yeah, I guess that's okay. If you want to have a middle-aged Yoda, not like a younger Yoda, but a middle-aged Yoda, maybe get to see a bit of action. Hopefully they can do something with Frank Oz before the inevitable thing happens, but we won't talk about that. Anyway, it says here, later this year, Lucasfilm will launch an epic new era of Star Wars storytelling that will be explored through multiple voices in adult and young adult novels, children's books, and comics from a variety of publishers, including Disney, Lucasfilm Press, Del Rey, IDW Publishing, and Marvel. Star Wars The High Republic, which has previously been referred to as Project Luminous, will be set in an era when the Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order are at their zenith, about 200 years before the events of Star Wars The Phantom Menace. This period of the Star Wars timeline will not overlap with any of the filmed features or series currently planned for production, giving creators and partners a vast amount of room to tell Star Wars stories with new adventures and original characters. And what does that mean, folks? Well, it just means they don't want to overlap nothing, and they want to be able to kind of set the stage, if you will. They want to be able to kind of bring it all home and let people dive in at their leisure and build up a fan base. Right now, my speculation on it has been that they're going to release this stuff, the High Republic, to build up the new fan base. The hardcores are going to dive in, and if it's good, they're then going to tell their casual friends. Their casual friends will tell their normie friends, and that's how you build up a grassroots campaign for the next set of feature films. Disney's doing roughly the same thing in China by hiring Chinese bloggers to write original Star Wars content in order to get it out to the, and I quote on this one, 400 plus million people who read ebooks every single month in China. And this is guaranteed to be part of that particular initiative. This is just what we know about it. Now, they gave us a little bit of art from not only the website, but a video presentation showing us a bit of what to expect from Project Luminous and the diverse Jedi that are in fact going to be portrayed throughout. Now, what I like on this particular image is the girl in the back left with a pink saber. That's a new one. That is a very big new one, and I'm all for it, to be honest with you. Bubblegum pink, lightsaber man, sign me up. I'm actually totally on board. But they also showed us characters like this guy here, just concept art of what to expect on the frontier of the Republic, right? Because this is about before the Republic fully got established, so there's still a lot of uncharted territory, unpatrolled territory. We're going to see Jedi like this girl here. No name, but this is just some concept art of what she could look like. We're going to have this guy here who's more of like the frontier Jedi. You know, if you look at his, what I believe is his lightsaber there, it's got like a 6-shooter hilt to it, which I really like. I love the Western aesthetic, and it does really feel a bit like a Ronin or a samurai approach to this sort of thing. just out there on their own, patrolling the outer rim, or patrolling the unknown regions, patrolling all of these places that are going to be just full of new creatures and new characters, and that's going to be pretty cool. We do know that there's a lot that's going to be going into this year. Like, we have this other shot here of a group of youngsters. I think this is coming in from one of the young adult novels, but we get a group of them there, all varied, but they all have the same color lightsaber, and the lightsabers all generally kind of look the same. So it makes me wonder if these are just like training sabers, if they've gone to Ilum and collected it yet. But at this point, I would assume they probably have gone to Ilum and collected their Kyber crystal. But, you know, we're going to find out more probably when the thing drops. We got this shot here of a bit older, I think from the older novels, you know, obviously a Jedi and a Twi'lek there, which again, even the sabers are a little bit different, but then again, it feels like it's aimed for a different crowd. It's aimed for a different audience. This is more of the adult type stuff. But then we have this kid saber, this kid story here. I'm going to be talking about this one here in a second, but we get an idea for, you know, this is a young adult story. So what to expect based upon the type of animation and artwork that's being used. I mean, obviously, this is being designed for younger kids in mind, but I do think a lot of adults are gonna eat it up too. And then we get this shot, which I just really like, actually. When they release this poster, I think I'm probably gonna get it. This is from the High Republic. This is the Jedi from the Jedi Temple. They showed a bit of concept art in the video as well, and this from what these guys are wearing, we can see that they have the white robes, so that's from the Jedi Temple. The guys with the brown robes are coming in from, like, you know, mission attire. So there's a bunch of different things there that are going to be interesting for different outfits. And so I think we're going to get a solid idea of the Jedi Order, of what the rules of it are, like the hardcore rules, and what to expect. And I think that's what a lot of fans really wanted it. They, if I'm being fair, I think they maybe want a little bit of Harry Potter, but Jedi Temple style, Jedi Academy style. Anyway, we have the first book here. And this is Star Wars: The High Republic, The Light of the Jedi, written by Charles Soule. And I love that cover. I love the cover right there. I think it looks pretty damn fantastic. Gives us a nice view into what to expect. Again, they are wearing the Jedi temple attire there. So this is going to take place probably at whatever Jedi temple. We don't know anything about the story yet because there is a place you can pre-order it on Random House or through Del Rey. And all it says here, the Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things until, and that's literally it. But this one drops on August 25th, 2020, right before Star Wars Celebration. In fact, I think all of these books and comics drop right off the bat during Star Wars Celebration. Now, the question then becomes, who are the bad guys? Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys? I mean, we know that there's going to be Jedi. This whole High Republic thing's about the Jedi, but we don't know anything about the bad guys, and that's what's going to be the most fascinating. We got this here a little bit. Now, the Nihil, or the Nihil, this is concept art of what these guys are going to look like, and they're kind of known as Space Vikings, right? And they even gave us their slogan. Their slogan was, "You can't take it with you, but we can take it from you." And I think that's actually pretty cool, if I'm being fair. If I'm being honest with you, I'm kind of on board with that, right? This is going to be kind of like, you know, Space Bandits, Space Vikings, Space Vikings. I mean, we got Space Pirates, right? We got Space Bandits, but Space Vikings. These guys look pretty dope. I mean, the way they're designed, and it kind of looks like they just, you know, different. You can see there's different species there, and it's gonna be pretty cool. You got a little bit here of more of an up close shot to give you an idea. Then we have this concept art of one of them, and that just looks wicked to me, right? That just looks really cool. That's gonna be great. But I also got a little bit of Enfys Nest. Like a little bit of Enfys Nest vibe from Solo. So that's, again, something. But I do think we're going to get a fair amount of interesting characters and creatures. This is a screenshot they showed. Some concept art of new scoundrels and bounty hunters and just characters in general. Now, these are not official. Obviously, these are just sketches done by the artists like Ian McKeag, who's come back in to work on this. I don't know if this is going to be tied directly into the first book, but it does give us an idea of what to expect. And it does look very Frontier-esque. It does look very much like it's just out there somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it feels older, and that's cool. I want it to feel older. You know, I mean, one of the biggest problems with the prequel trilogy, if you think about it, was everyone was like, oh man, it feels so new. It feels so shiny. It feels so fresh and sleek and modern. And compared to, you know, 20 years later, with the Empire having taken over, and everything was very, very blocky and Nazi-esque and Empire. You know what I mean? This looks like it's going to be old frontier living. And to me, I'm on board. I mean, you have no idea how much I'm on board. This is a couple sketches of potentially some Jedi we're going to be seeing in these books as well. Again, this is done by Ian McCaig. We know that for certain. Don't quite know specifically who these characters are or what to expect, but just again, those designs are pretty dope, and we should expect to see those definitely in the book, hopefully with some better descriptions, some better artwork, and I'm sure we're going to get it. Now, moving on, we have this next book here. This is more of a young adult novel. This is coming in from Claudia Gray, and is titled Into the Dark, and this is also coming out right around the same time. And it's up for pre-order as well. So here is the official description of the book. It says, Padawan Reath Silas is being sent from the cosmopolitan galactic capital of Coruscant to the underdeveloped frontier, and he couldn't be less happy about it. He'd rather stay at the Jedi Temple studying the archives, but when a ship he's traveling on is knocked out of hyperspace in a galactic-wide disaster, Reath finds himself at the center of the action. The Jedi and their traveling companions find refuge on what appears to be an abandoned space station. But then things start happening, leading the Jedi to investigate the truth behind a mysterious station, and a truth that could end in tragedy. And it definitely comes across like a young adult novel, and honestly, sounds interesting. I think I'm going to give it a shot. But here's a concept art of the station, which looks pretty cool. And clearly it's going to be above some planet. There looks like there's some cities down there and some other stuff. But here's where it gets interesting. Coming back over to the cover of the first Charles Soule book here, on The Light of the Jedi, whatever it's called, we can see the space station in the top corner there. So what does that show us? It shows us that, oh damn, Into the Dark is going to tie into this book as well. So obviously they're already kind of laying the groundwork a little bit for trying to make it all work out. So that's going to be something fascinating as well. Then we've got this one here, again, a young adult novel. I think this one's more middle school aged. They give you a bit of a description on the website, and it's Star Wars, A Test of Courage from Justina Ireland, clearly aimed at kids, with its description reading, when a transport ship is abruptly kicked out of hyperspace as a part of a galaxy-wide disaster, newly minted teen Jedi Vernesta Rowe, a young Padawan, an audacious tech kid, and the son of an ambassador are stranded on a jungle moon where they must work together to survive both the dangerous terrain and a hidden danger lurking in the shadows. As we can see here, 240 pages. The age range is 8 to 12, so I'll breeze through that in like a week. But did you notice, though, on both Into the Dark and Test of Courage, they both talk about being booted out of hyperspace in a galaxy-wide disaster. Now, this is all-encompassing, right? This is all-encompassing. Characters are going to flip and flop and move around from zig and zag, from story to story. We're going to follow their adventures all the way through, and that should be pretty interesting. Then we've got these comic books here. One of them is the High Republic Adventures, coming in from IDW, and the other one is Star Wars, The High Republic. We don't have a title for it yet, coming in from Marvel, and these are going to be two of the ones that come out here also alongside. No idea what these stories are just yet. But it looks like the High Republic one from Marvel. Those kind of look like the Nihil. So, I mean, that'd be kind of cool, right? The Kylo Ren stories right now have been doing really, really, really well. They've been selling out pretty well, and people really seem to like them. So we'll have to wait to see how these things play out. And, finally, I mean, they showed us not a lot of stuff tonight that I think that was really interesting from a visual perspective, but the idea of an older Republic, not the old Republic, unfortunately, which means no Revan. Yes, it's been confirmed as canon, but we're not getting a Revan story. But giving us an idea of just what life was like in the galaxy, in the Galactic Republic, 200 years before Obi-Wan met Anakin, before all of that stuff went down. And I don't know about you, but I am really interested to see what they come up with next. I'm really fascinated to see what this whole thing is about. And even though it says that it's not tying into any project that is currently filming or currently in development or in production, right? It's in production. I think that this will tie into the 2022 movie. It's the only thing that makes sense. Because if you're going to have this massive publishing initiative that's going to span across multiple age groups, that's going to tell multiple interconnected stories, but one main story with all of these characters playing their part, you're going to be building up to something. And that something is where the money is. And the money is clearly in movies, right? It's clearly in movies is where things are. And that's what I feel we're going to be seeing out of this. So count me interested. I'll be at Comic-Con this summer. Hopefully get my hands on some information. I'm probably going to be reviewing more of the comics as we go into it, because I'm fascinated by it. But at the end of the day, what do you guys think about this? Are you guys going to dive into this? Does it blow your skirt up? Does it not blow your skirt up? I mean, does it? Some people out there don't like the idea of having to read. They just want to be told what's going to happen and seen in the movies. But the problem though, let me just be fair. The problem that I can see coming from this has everything to do with the execution of the next film, right? So it's like going into The Rise of Skywalker. We knew that there were a ton of issues that, like, you know, were kind of explained beforehand, but they weren't explained in the movie. And that left some audience members confused, as it should. And ultimately that stuff should have been in the movie. And I'm wondering how much of this is going to be in whatever comes next, whether it's Disney Plus or theatrical. I think it's theatrical, that people are going to need to know about in order to be interested in. But like I said, this is all part of a long-term grassroots movement in order to save Star Wars and to make it profitable again. And it's profitable, but to make it really profitable. And that's what Project Luminous is. But it does have my attention, and I'm very excited to learn more. Anyway, your thoughts, your opinions, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys please haven't already, hit that like. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more like it, hit that subscribe. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.